ముగిస్తామన్నా మరి 8 సీట్లు
exciting part of our international conference, Managing Heritage as an Asset to Posterity 2024. Before proceeding with the cultural event, I would take the opportunity to welcome our chief guest and guest of honor. It is our privilege and pleasure to introduce our chief guest, Honorable Professor Dr. B.R. Maniji, who has over 4 decades of experience in administration, research, and teaching in public service. He worked at the Archaeological Survey of India and the National Museum for 34 years. He is currently the Director General and the National Director General of the National Museum. He has directed excavations of various archaeological sites, including the significant Ayodhya excavations, and conserved a large number of monuments in various parts of the country and abroad. May I request Professor Dr. B.R. Maniji to please come on the dais and take the seat. May I request for a huge round of applause for Sir, please. Thank you so much, sir, for gracing us with your presence today. It's also a great privilege and pleasure to introduce our guest of honor, Professor Architect Abhay Vinayak Purohit ji, who is the President of the Council of Architecture, and Shri R.K. Oberoi, who is the Registrar of Council of Architecture, New Delhi. May I please request Professor Architect Abhay Vinayak Purohit ji and Shri R.K. Oberoi ji to please come on the dais and take a seat. May I request for a huge round of applause, please. Thank you, sir, for gracing us with your presence today. I would now request our chairman, Shri Prashant Bajpai ji, our director, Professor Shilpi Sinha ma'am, Professor Sanjay Mehra sir, and our conference coordinator, Professor Rashmi Tandon ji, to please come on the dais and take a seat with our dignitaries. May I request for a huge round of applause, please. I would request our chairman, Shri Prashant Bajpai ji, to please felicitate our honorable chief guest, Professor Dr. B.R. Maniji, with a bouquet of flowers and a creative souvenir done by our dear students. May I request for a huge round of applause, please. I would request our director, Professor Shilpi Sinha ji, to please felicitate our guest of honor, Professor Architect Abhay Vinayak Purohit ji, with a bouquet of flowers and a creative souvenir done by our students. May we please have a huge round of applause. Now I would request our Dean, Professor Sanjay Mehra sir, to please felicitate our guest of honor, Shri R.K. Oberoi sir, with a bouquet of flowers and a creative souvenir done by our dear students. May I request for a huge round of applause, please. I would now request our conference coordinator, Professor Rashmi Tandon ji, to sum up the conference.
Thank you, Soumya. As I have to make the closing remarks for this conference, I am filled with a profound sense of gratitude and inspiration for the meaningful exchanges that have taken place in the last 2 days. As you all know, the theme of this international conference, managing heritage as an asset to posterity, was organized by Vastukala Academy in collaboration with IGNCA Delhi. The inauguration ceremony happened yesterday morning, and it was presided over by Dr. Sachidanand Joshi, Member Secretary IGNCA. We were then honored by the presence of our esteemed chief guest, Ms. Mugdha Sinha, IAS Joint Secretary, Ministry of Culture, India, Professor Dr. Shashi Bala, Dean Bhavan's KM Munshi Center for Indology, Bharatiya Vidya Bhavan, and Professor Charanjit Singh Shah, Founding Principal, Creative Group. Our ceremony began with the traditional lighting of the diya, symbolizing the dispelling of darkness and the ushering in of new beginnings. It serves as a poignant reminder of the light of knowledge that illuminates our path forward. Following this symbolic gesture, we were privileged to be enriched by a captivating keynote address by Professor Sanjay Mehra. His insights on tangible and intangible heritage resonated deeply with all of us, setting the tone for the enlightening discussions to come. The addresses made by all the chief guests and guests of honor were both insightful and thought-provoking. Their words served as beacon of inspiration, reminding us of importance of collaboration, innovation, and perseverance in our collective pursuit for excellence. Ms. Mugdha, I would just highlight few words, and especially by Ms. Mugdha Sinha. She very nicely spoke on various things, and I'm just very quickly trying to sum up with what she spoke about. The commercial vocabulary of asset management has become a new blueprint for shaping culture, necessitating innovative approaches to preservation and conservation beyond traditional methods such as institutional physical preservation. Emerging technologies offer avenues for safeguarding both tangible and intangible assets. Smart contracts are poised to play a pivotal role in revenue royalty sharing and protecting intellectual property rights, IPR, countering the trend of data cartelization. In the era of the multiverse, where public-private partnerships abound, ensuring access and affordability of assets demands a blend of contractual and technological expertise. Crucially, documentation and digitization are essential, alongside translation and publication with built-in IPR protection. Moreover, nurturing skill-appropriate professionals and fostering citizen awareness through dissemination and policy making are imperative. Finally, recognizing the importance of archiving contemporary as well as ancient periods ensures a comprehensive understanding of our time for future generations. Now, we have been working for this conference for last few months, and the entire conference was conducted based on 4 themes, and we received around 36 abstracts, which were compiled in an abstract booklet and was released yesterday. The abstracts were peer-reviewed and shortlisted, and we received responses from various presenters across the country and internationally from Malaysia as well. And many states, we have covered almost 10 to 12 states, like from where presenters have presented their paper. And we had around 26 paper presentations in the last 2 days, both in the physical and the online mode. And we would be compiling the proceedings in an ISBN number soon. And we had a peer reviewing team which comprised of Dr. Nisar Khan, architect Deve Gupta, Ms. Aruna Bharadwaj, Ms. Ritu Jain, Ms. Shilpa Jain, and Ms. Urvashi Srivastav. All of them have been experts in conservation and allied subjects. The first technical session with the theme of holistic heritage conservation covered research topics related to tangible and intangible heritage and heritage management. The session was moderated by Dr. Achal Pandya, HOD IGNCA. The second technical session with the theme of digital innovation and documentation covered research topics related to digital technologies, adaptive use, and urban planning. And the session was moderated by architect Deve Gupta. The various research papers presented on day 1 were based on National Museum Delhi, Achalgarh Fort, Firoz Shah Kotla, Sanchi Stupa, Kaman Sarai, Surlatar Mosque, Pottery, Bowls and Tendoli Village, conservation of Chhatrapati Sambhaji Nagar, and Hitti systems of Nepal. The second day, which comprises of the third and fourth session, the third technical session with the theme Heritage Tourism and Economic Impact covered research topics related to heritage tourism, cultural and national identity. The session was moderated by architect Sangeeta Base. The fourth and final technical session was the future trends in heritage preservation, covered research topics on emerging trends and inclusive heritage practices, and it was moderated by architect Shubhru Gupta. The various research papers presented on day 2 were based on inclusivity, heritage tourism in Lakshadweep Island, heritage of Chandangarh, archaeological sites of Unakoti and Devtamura, bungalows of Allahabad, Sasbahu Temple of Gwalior, and many more. Besides these technical sessions, we had special lectures conducted by architect Sushant Bharti on seen and unseen importance of intangible in the context of tangible. Another lecture by architect Divya Gupta on 6 degrees of separation and future of World Heritage Sites. And today, architect Sangeeta Base gave a lecture on her experiences from heritage conservation. Now, during these 2 days, we have explored a myriad of ideas and exchanged diverse perspectives. From the insightful discussions to the thought-provoking presentations, it is evident that our collective efforts have enriched our understanding and paved the way for innovative solutions to emerge. As we depart from this gathering, let us carry forward the spirit of collaboration and commitment to excellence that has defined our time together. Let us remain inspired by the shared vision of progress and continue to leverage our collective expertise to address the challenges that lie ahead. So before I formally thank everyone, we have a few more things lined up and I'll call my presenters to take over. So presenters, please come.
Thank you, ma'am, for summing up the conference. May I now request our Honorable Chief Guest, Professor Dr. B.R. Maniji, to kindly launch the book, which is a compilation of seminars done by our fourth-year students over the last 3 years. The hard copy is in the process of publication and shall soon be available for reference. We also request our audience to view the e-version of the same on the screen, please. May I please request for a huge round of applause. Thank you, sir. May I please request our Honorable Professor Dr. B.R. Maniji to please say a few words.
Dignitaries on the dais, Professor Purohit, Dr. Gobrai, and others, and those sitting in front of us, dear students. The world today has to choose between so many extremes that it is difficult to say what the present world would be like, say, after quarter of a century. The past, with its miraculous achievements and emphasis on mass productions, should have paved the way to a greater human happiness. But far from it, it has devised new ways and means to a more complicated living. This has adversely affected the World Heritage, and India is not out of it. India has the privilege of having 40 cultural, natural, and mixed sites inscribed in the World Heritage List of UNESCO, out of which most of the cultural sites are under the care of Archaeological Survey of India. With the publication of Conservation Manual in 1922 by the then Director General of the ASI, John Marshall, the principles, methods, and approach to conservation of monuments were codified for guidance and execution of works. The manual is still relevant and followed, however, keeping in view the subsequent adoption of various international charters and conventions, such as Venice Charter of 1964, Hague Convention 1954, and other regulations. The approach towards conservation of heritage has been modified, and importance has been given to maintain the authenticity and integrity and to protect the outstanding value of the monuments. During the last few decades, due care has been given to facilitate the visitors, particularly coming in larger groups of monuments or where the extent of the protected area is spread in considerable dimensions and visited by more tourists and visitors. Accordingly, for such monuments, including those inscribed in the World Heritage List, the comprehensive conservation management plans and visitors movement plans are being prepared and put into place. Visitors' facilities of international standards are also being provided. It has been noticed that due to rapid urban growth and increase in population, a number of ancient sites have suffered in the past, and some of them have totally been eclipsed due to either constructions or leveling up of the mounds or construction or farming. It is urgently needed to complete the database of unprotected monuments and sites so that they could be earmarked by the state government to put a halt to their further damage. Considering the importance of this aspect, a national mission of monuments and antiquities has been set up by the Ministry of Culture in the Archaeological Survey of India, and they have done good work in documentation of monuments and antiquities. Salvage operations to retrieve the monumental remains and antiquarian wealth are being promoted, and there is an urgent need of Central Advisory Board of Archaeology to meet regularly for implementing protection of our heritage. It is essential to understand the monument first in its various aspects relating to history, archaeology, art, architecture, styles, and technology of construction. The civil engineers inducted in the ASI can only understand the construction techniques after proper training and experience in field. Besides them, there is also a need of involving conservation architects. And in recent years, such successful attempts have been made. It is expected from these professionals to possess basic and practical experience as general architects as well as knowledge and understanding of early building technology and the ability to identify and interpret a building's original fabric and later additions. In the recent past, emphasis has been given to two important aspects for study of architectural and archaeological sites. The first is problem-oriented surveys, and the other is salvage operations. Let us mention some of the examples, although I'm not going into details because of the time constraint. Excavations at the disputed site of Ayodhya 2003 has yielded a continuous cultural sequence contained in the total deposit of 10.80 meters divided into 9 cultural periods. The matter regarding temple mosque issue was different, but we were more interested as archaeologists, we were more interested to know the earliest antiquity of the site, and that too, which was said to be said to have begun in the 8th or 7th century BCE. And with the determination of the scientific dates, we could come across the fact that the earliest strata goes back to 17th century BCE. 1680 proper date has been noticed. The name of a few can also be taken here in the category of problem-oriented surveys. Sarnath comes first because Sarnath is a site which has been under excavations for last 200 years, from 1815 onwards. And every scholar believed that the site of Sarnath had its beginning in the time of Emperor Ashoka. So, what happened after Buddha visited Sarnath, preached his first sermon, and 200 years later, Ashoka came. So, what happened between these 200 years? So, that was one of the problems which we undertook, and we found the early dates. No scientific date was available from the site. We found the earliest date to be 385 BCE, which is more than 100 years earlier than Ashoka. So the scholars who have done work in the 19th century and in the early part of the 20th century, I don't accuse them, but such techniques were not available at that time. So by utilizing such techniques, we can come across certain new facts, which is required at present in order to promote the cultural heritage. There are so many other sites, and I'm not going into discuss all of them. So far, salvage operations are concerned, I must mention 3 sites in Haryana where we worked. One is Bohar Majra in Rohtak, the second one is Muhammadnagar, and the third one is Harnol. And all these sites were under some type of construction work by the state government. The first site, Bohar Majra, it was being damaged, cut for making a housing colony. And we requested the district collector stopped for a couple of months, excavated there, and found the remains of early medieval mint, which has never been excavated or exposed anywhere. And we found hundreds of crucibles and molds and all. Similarly, the two sites which I mentioned in Gurgaon district, Mohammadnagar and Harnol, they were being demolished, cut for taking the mud and earth for construction of new Hodel linkage road. And there also we requested the state authorities and excavated the site, found remains of pre-painted river levels. So before destruction of the sites, we took such steps. I hope in future due care could be given to both problem-oriented surveys and salvage operations to manage heritage to posterity in terms of increase in our knowledge, as it may not be possible to protect each and every archaeological site in the country. I have come to know that 26 papers in this seminar conference has been presented, and once it comes out in published form, I think that would be so nice for our promotion of the heritage. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for your kind words. May I request our guest of honor, Professor Abhay Vinayak Purohitji, to please say a few words.
How much do you need?
Vande Mataram. Dr. B.R. Mani, Prashant Ji Vajpayee, Rajkumar Ji Oberoi, Shilpi Sinha Ji, Rashmi Tandon Ji, dignitaries on the dais, dignitaries of the dais, and more importantly, the students. I'm very, very sure that in last 2 days, you had a lot of speakers who talked on the tangible and intangible heritage, its conservation to be carried out to the future generations in as intact format as it is possible. And most probably being an architectural institution conducting it, possibly we would have talked a lot on the tangible heritage. And I was going through the topic, and as it so happens, and I was telling Vajpayee ji also that as a President Council of Architecture is always like, go, stand, talk, move. That is how it happens. But this topic essentially happens to be of a very, very close to my heart and the thought process also as well. When we look at it as such, then the question which comes is that, like, really, are we supposed to take some very, very special efforts to basically conserve the rich diversity and the rich culture along with rich architecture which is present in this holy land of Bharat Bhumi? Or is it a part and parcel of my integrated lifestyle? And that is something which we have to understand. And This heritage part, I think, is very, very close to the Indian sort of a mindset. Because we have seen that the seasons are always with the typical sort of the festivals. We are talking about the type of the attires which we would be wearing. We talk about the cuisines which we enjoy. Mother would be cooking a specific food on that specific festival time. Even to an extent in certain areas whereupon you also have this same kind of a dhoop stick with the same kind of fragrance happening around on that specific days. And of course, along with that, naturally the physical setups which will be coming up with that. And these physical setups are two types. One which is actually capable of changing over time, and one which is in the permanent nature. Permanent nature is, of course, is going to be the monuments which we are referring to, or we are talking about those buildings which are specifically made. And as a student of architecture, under history of architecture, I have learned lots of monuments and lots of things happening around. And so I was always wondering that what is happening. And I am a teacher of history. So history is my passion. And I realized that when I am trying to explain something to my students, it could not be explained in isolation about that specific structure alone. And possibly I have to enter into that era when that has happened, which of course is not happening today. The way the pujas and archanas were performed in the temples possibly is not the way which we are performing it. That is that intangible heritage which actually is also getting a bit sidetracked. And that remains a great concern. Because as per the Indian philosophy, as such, the body could not exist without a soul. And so intangible heritage is a soul of the tangible heritage. And thereby you as the person who is pursuing architecture, maybe as a student, as a researcher, it becomes very, very essential for us to understand as to when something has come into the existence, what were the socio-political, cultural scenarios present at that point of time, how the things would have happened, over a time, and what was the originality of it. Manisab has quoted certain examples, and he's very learned, and he has participated to such kind of activities which essentially one should be proud of and one should get the insight. But I would narrate you a very small incident as such. Few days back, I had been to this Mahakal corridor, and then I have a passion to move with my own vehicle, and so we decided that let us detour a bit. And so we were at from Ujjain, we went to Indore. From Indore, we went to Maheshwar. From Maheshwar, we were on the way to the Omkareshwar. And in the middle of it, as such, someone has said that there is one samadhi of a Bajirao Peshwa. So the one who has actually put up the Maratha kingdom into a very, very specific mode. And his contribution, if you go to history, you would understand what kind of a contribution this person has, Pehla Bajirao, as they call it. And so there is this very nondescript place on the side of the river Narmada. And we have to really go through the, villages and the fields, etc., to reach that place. Mani sabko possibly malum ho. But you go there and you take a look at it, and then you feel that it's not a very, very, the structure which is capable of, posing itself, imposing structure. It is not imposing structure. It has been, he expired there when he was traveling for a war with 1 lakh of the his army. And they were stationed at this in the banks of river Narmada, and there he got a sunstroke. So the guy who has never ever lost a war lost his life because of the sunstroke. And a samadhi of that has been prepared there by the Shindes from Gwalior. The amount of the history, and of course, majority of you would have seen that movie, Bajirao Mastani, whereupon actually the last scene of it as such, that the river and he would enter into the river with two swords in his hand and enter and go. And I was wondering, I always thought that it has been just filmed for the sake of a movie. But when I saw that, as I saw that, oh, Narmada ji has that kind of a vast sort of a river bed out there. And the possibility of that he's entering as such, you are capable of visualizing something based on that. Then, of course, then when it comes to conservation, now this is one story which I have told you. Now I am talking about practically what is necessity of a conservation of it. And I decided one thing at that point of time, message that I said I belong to a city of Nagpur. And Nagpur is of course famous for the oranges and is also famous for Gadkari ji, along with all other famous things to happen. And the first thought which came to my mind is that I go back, now that he's into election mode, so maybe this is not a time to meet him, but the moment the elections are over as such, I am to meet him and tell him one thing, saying that, okay, we are talking about heritage, sir, you have done a great job, so we want to have a proper road going to that place. Now, why? What is the relationship of my, that thought process with the topic of the international conference? It's very, very clear. You also have to basically create such kind of a scenarios whereupon you would not be forgetting about your heritage. Now, this is very, very important. So one way is a training, another way is celebrating. And it is essential that we should be capable of celebrating our heritage. Unless otherwise we don't show it to our future generations, also to the others, no one would not be capable of understanding it. And this becomes absolutely essential when we are talking about conserving our heritage. By the way, and Dr. Mani would agree to it. Up till now, as such, we were very, very sort of a conservative about projecting our heritage. Of late, we are understanding that it is also necessary, because for any country as such, their heritage, when they proudly look at their heritage and proudly capable of showing it to others, it starts making a lot of sense. That actually is the last sort of a thing wherever you say that you are really liberated. I'm not talking about a specific religion. I'm not talking about a specific creed. I'm not talking about a specific caste. What all I'm trying to tell you is that, till we do not take pride into our own heritage, tangible or intangible, the things would not happen. And in India, we have so many things whereupon we should look at it. In fact, many a times I keep on feeling that, we also require a lot of public participation to look at it and to conserve the things. Because every town, every small village also has its own sort of a history. We were doing something at Nagpur, we found out that 10 bowdies which we were capable of excavating through the student participation. I mean, because we were, at that point of time marking the bowdies. So it was not only those wells, step wells, which we are talking about. They are there. They are available in the villages. The villagers do not understand because there is no training which has been given as such. And we have seen that lots and lots of these statues and the stones has been taken out. Simple as that. Goes off. I would again refer to Nagpur as such. We had the Gond kingdom happening around. And these Gond kings had also created great sort of the Chhatris. These Chhatris are located in the center of the city. And surrounding area, at least 500 houses, you will find out that the stones which have been used for basically washing the clothes are coming from the Chhatris. So at least, apart from all the big things happening around SH, at least every one of us could always take this kind of a sense of saying that wherever I find out a heritage, tangible or intangible, I would show it a respect. I would try to put it up, the word to others, that this is the heritage. This food is a heritage. This clothing is a heritage. This structure is a heritage. This dance format is a heritage. So we should recognize it and we should also practice it. And let me tell you that we have so much of it, that in fact every town has a potential to become a destination whereupon the heritage could be proudly displayed. So I think that we, the followers of architecture, would also understand that this also has to be taken as one of the missions. Thank you very much. Thanks for inviting me here. Jai Hind. Jai Bharat.
Thank you, sir, for your kind and inspiring words. I would now like to invite our coordinator, Professor Rashmi Tandon ma'am, to please render a vote of thanks to our dignitaries and everyone. Please put your hands together for Rashmi ma'am.
Before I go ahead to thank everyone who made this conference possible, I would especially want to thank our chief guest, B.R. Mani sir, and our guest of honor, architect Abhay Purohit ji, for accepting our invite for this celebratory function and being part of this ceremony and motivating our young students and researchers. So as we come to the close of this enriching and inspiring conference, it is my honor and privilege to extend heartfelt gratitude to every one of you who contributed to its success. First and foremost, I would like to thank our patrons and conveners for their support and guidance. I would like to extend a special thank to IGNCA, whose generous support made this event possible. Your commitment to advancing knowledge and fostering collaboration is truly commendable. I would like to thank Dr. Sachidanand Joshi, Dr. Achal Pandya, Professor Satinder ji for their support throughout. I would like to thank the staff and management of IGNCA for their professionalism and hospitality throughout the duration of the conference. Your warm welcome and impeccable service have made our experience even more memorable. Least but not actually the last. We are blessed to be part of Vastukala Academy, which is more like a family. And it was the brainchild of our founder, late Shashi Bhushan ji, who was also a Padam Shri awardee. We hope to carry forward the legacy Shashi Bhushan sir had envisioned. And nothing was possible without the patronage and mentorship of our chairman, Shri Prashant Bajpayee ji, whose vision and determination made this third consecutive conference possible. We look forward to you, sir, for more such mentorships. Professor Shilpi Sinha, your leadership has been crucial to the success of this conference. We are incredibly grateful for your hard work, dedication, and vision. To our organizing committee and student volunteers, your tireless efforts behind the scenes have been instrumental in ensuring the smooth execution of this conference. Your hard work and attention to detail have not gone unnoticed, and we are immensely grateful for your dedication. Before acknowledging all the teams involved, I must extend special thanks to our young assistant professors and co-coordinators of the conference, Mr. Akash Sharma, Ms. Ankita Bajpayee, and Ms. Vinita Tamboli. Their tireless dedication and meticulous efforts, working day and night, have been indispensable in ensuring the success of the conference. Big round of applause for these people, guys. So every name is equally important, but yes, this list will go on. Shoaib sir, Shelly ma'am, Sarika, Jyoti, Saima, Vidushi, if I'm not missing one, Kavita, Soumya, yes, piche reh gayi ho mere. So everyone has been important, yes. So I wish to express my sincere gratitude to every team involved in this conference, including the exhibition team, hospitality team, photography team, stage anchors, backstage team, publication team, media team, rapporteur team, peer review team, stage management team, souvenir artists, certificate team, cultural team, catering team, seminar booklet publication team, abstract booklet team, as well as all the Vastukala faculty, management, registrar, and administrative staff. Each and every one of you has played an invaluable role in ensuring the success of this conference, and your contributions are deeply appreciated. Thank you all from the bottom of my heart. I would like to express our sincere appreciation to all the distinguished speakers, panelists, and presenters. Your expertise, insights, and dedication have enriched our discussions and inspired us to explore new horizons in our respective fields. Of course, none of this would have been possible without the enthusiastic participation of our attendees and especially our students. Your active engagement, thoughtful questions, and valuable contributions have created a vibrant atmosphere of learning and exchange. Once again, thank you all for participation and support. Let us embark on our journey with renewed inspiration and purpose. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, ma'am. On this note, we would now like to commence with our awards ceremony. We would begin with announcing our special awards first, and I would like to request our chief guest, Dr. P.R. Mani, to please present this award. So I would like to announce now the Best Teacher Award for the year 2020-21 has been awarded to Ms. Kavita Revo. I would like to call upon Ms. Kavita Revo to come up to the stage to receive her award. May we please have a huge round of applause again, please, for Ms. Kavita Revo. The Best Award for the year 2021-22 has been awarded to Mr. Akash Sharma. I would like to call upon Mr. Akash Sharma to come up on the stage to receive his award. May we please have a huge round of applause for Akash. I would request our guest of honor, Professor Abhijit, to please present this award. Next, we have the Best Student for the year 2023, which has been awarded to Miss Priya Agarwal, who has also made us proud by winning the IP University Gold Medal for Excellence in Architecture this year. May I request Guest of Honor, Shri R.K. Oberoi, to please present this award. I would like to call upon Miss Priya Agarwal to come up on the stage to receive this award. In the absence of Ms. Priya Agarwal, I would like to invite the President of the Student Council, Ms. Dhriti Mittal, to receive the award on her behalf. May we please have a round of applause for Ms. Priya Agarwal to make us so proud. Next, I would like to take the opportunity to announce the Faculty Coordination Awards of our conference. Our team has really worked very hard to make this conference a huge success. May we please have a huge round of applause for everyone. Would the following faculty members to please proceed to the stage to receive the certificates as their names are announced. Professor Shilpi Sinha as the convener of the conference. May I please request for a huge round of applause for ma'am, please. Next is Professor Rashmi Tandon as the core committee coordinator. May we please have a huge round of applause for ma'am. Professor Sanjay Mehra sir as the core committee coordinator. Professor Akash Sharma as the core committee coordinator. Next is Professor Ankita Bajpai as the core committee coordinator. Going further is Professor Shelly Srivastav as the organizing committee coordinator for cultural event. Professor Sarika Narayan as the coordinator of abstract publication committee. Professor Jyoti Luthra as the coordinator of abstract publication committee.
Next is Professor Soumya Kohli as the anchor of the conference. Professor Vidushi Singh as the anchor of the conference as well. Professor Saima Shakil as the coordinator of organizing committee for hospitality. Professor Savita Rego as the coordinator of organizing committee for hospitality. Professor Shoaib Alam as the coordinator of organizing committee for exhibition.
And last not the least, Professor Vinita Damboli as the coordinator of organizing committee for exhibition. May we please have a huge round of applause for everyone. May I also request everyone, like from the faculty members, to please come for a commemorative photo. All the faculty members are please requested to come on the stage. Fair chance.
If you just somebody volunteers to remove this table from sides, then the whatever is happening around. Just move to sides.
Ma'am, please come.
Thank you very much.
And last and not the least, I would like to call upon the President of the Student Council, Ms. Dhriti Mittal, to accept the certificates for all the student volunteers of Vastukala who have worked very hard for making MHAP 2024 a huge success. May we please have a huge round of applause for each and every student for putting so much of effort and making our conference a huge success. Yeah. This brings us to the end of the special awards ceremony. I would request our dignitaries to now take the front row and enjoy the cultural event prepared by our dear students. The cultural event has been prepared by our dear students and will also be presented by them. So I would now like to invite my students Mansi Rawat, Aviral Arora, Salome Levi and Hannah Paul to host the cultural program. The stage is yours, dear students. Thank you, ma'am.
हम लोग किसी की कर रहे हैं हमारी चल रही
यार इंडिया का कल्चर सीन तो एकदम मस्त है ना? There's folk arts, classical arts, festivals की भरमार और आर्ट एंड आर्किटेक्चर की तो बात ही क्या करूं, उसका तो कोई जवाब ही नहीं। लैंग्वेजेस और टायर तो हर किलोमीटर पर बदलते जाते हैं।
बात तो सही है और ये सब कुछ हमारी जिंदगी में इतना इम्पोर्टेंट है कि क्या ही बोले, पूरा कवर करना इतना मुश्किल है।
Hey, let's not stress about it. हम वास्तुकला अकेडमी के स्टूडेंट्स हैं, हमारे लिए कुछ इम्पॉसिबल नहीं है। हम जहाँ खड़े होते हैं, टैलेंट की लाइन वहीं से शुरू होती है।
तो दिल थाम कर बैठिए, क्योंकि अब हम आपके लिए आ रहे हैं क्लासिकल डांसेस, पेट्रियोटिक सॉन्ग्स, फोक डांसेस और इंफॉर्मेटिव वीडियोस। इंडिया सब कुछ दिखाएंगे, सब कुछ आपको फील कराएंगे।
Hello and welcome everyone to a grand celebration of India's diverse cultural kaleidoscope. Today we embark on a magnificent journey exploring the vibrant patchwork of cultures, ancient traditions and captivating artistic expressions.
So let's welcome Manasmita, who will enthrall us with the movements of the Satriya dance style from the enchanting state of Assam. Her performance is about the reincarnation of Lord Krishna on the song Dashavatar. The lights, camera, action. मानसी, लाइफ में सबसे इम्पोर्टेंट चीजें क्या हैं?
लाइफ में सबसे इम्पोर्टेंट चीजें हैं वेश, भाषा, भोजन, भजन और भवन।
ट्रूली, बट मेरे हिसाब से सबसे इम्पोर्टेंट तो भवन है, क्योंकि इमारतों के बिना इंसान कुछ भी नहीं है। अभी देखो, IGNCA के संगीत ऑडिटोरियम के बिना हम ये इवेंट ही कहाँ करते।
So let us now take our audience through India's rich architecture landscape.
Enter the architectural marvels of India, where history is etched in stone and each structure narrates tales of bygone eras. India's architectural heritage is a captivating journey through time, reflecting the influence of various dynasties, cultures, and religious beliefs that have shaped the built environment. From ancient rock-cut temples of Ellora to the majestic forts of Rajasthan, Indian architecture is a harmonious blend of artistic expression and functional design. Intricate carvings, domes, and minarets adorn mosques, while intricately designed stepwells showcase the engineering prowess of centuries past. Religious structures such as the iconic temples of Khajuraho and the sacred sites of Varanasi are not just architectural marvels but spiritual sanctuaries that stand as testaments to devotion and faith. Join us as we traverse the architectural landscape of India, exploring the palaces, forts, and temples that echo with the whispers of history.
मेरे देश की धरती सोना उगले उगले हीरे मोती, मेरे देश की धरती। Patriotic songs hit me right in the feels.
Truly, celebrating the spirit of a nation through music, we're reminded of the timeless values that bind us together as a country. और इस पर अब भी जब कुछ लोग कहते हैं कि इंडिया कंट्रीब्यूशन टू द वर्ल्ड इज 0, लेट्स सी हमारी म्यूजिक टीम को क्या कहना है इसमें।
हेलो हेलो हेलो। जब जीरो दिया मेरे भारत ने मेरे भारत ने दुनिया को तब गिनती आई, तारों की भाषा भारत ने देता ना दशमलव, भारत तो यूं चांद पे जाना मुश्किल था। धरती और चांद की दूरी का अंदाजा लगाना मुश्किल था। सभ्यता जहाँ पहले आई, सभ्यता जहाँ पहले आई, पहले जन्मी है जहाँ पे कला। अपना भारत वो भारत है जिसके पीछे संसार चला, संसार चला और आगे बढ़ा, यूं आगे बढ़ा बढ़ता ही गया। भगवान करे ये और बढ़े, बढ़ता ही रहे और फूले फले, बढ़ता ही रहे और फूले फले। दिल दिया है जान भी देंगे, ऐ वतन तेरे लिए। हर करम अपना करेंगे, ऐ वतन तेरे लिए। दिल दिया है जान भी देंगे, ऐ वतन तेरे लिए। है वतन महबूब मेरे, तुझ पे दिल कुर्बान है वतन महबूब मेरे, तुझ पे दिल कुर्बान है। हम जिएंगे और मरेंगे, ऐ वतन तेरे लिए। दिया है जान भी देंगे, ऐ वतन तेरे लिए। दिया है जान भी देंगे, ऐ वतन तेरे लिए।
So Salome, what's stealing your attention?
I was just lost in this painting. Yeah, these mementos are genuinely so beautiful. Look at the colors, the intricate design, and the overall painting. It's so good.
Yeah, ये तो सिर्फ एक painting है. Let us delve deeper into the realm of Indian arts and architecture.
Embark on a journey through the kaleidoscope world of Indian art and craft, where tradition and creativity intertwine to create a visual spectacle. India, with its millennia-old history, is a treasure trove of artistic diversity, evident in the multitude of art forms that have flourished across the subcontinent. In the realm of visual arts, the intricate details of Rajasthani miniature paintings transport us to an era of regal grandeur. These artworks, often depicting scenes from mythology and royal courts, showcase the finesse of the artists who carefully get stories onto canvases, providing a glimpse into India's rich cultural heritage. Handicrafts, deeply rooted in tradition, exemplify the skill and artistry of Indian craftsmen. From the delicate embroidery of Lucknow's chikankari to the opulent allure of Banarasi silk, each handcrafted piece narrates a story of craftsmanship passed down through generations. These creations are not just artifacts, they're living testaments to the cultural diversity that defines India. As we delve into the world of Indian art and craft, we witness the marriage of tradition and innovation.
A distinguished alumna of Vastukala Academy, College of Architecture, Rutuparna's transformative journey shaped her into a jack of all trades, mastering strengths and embracing weaknesses. Her tenure marked by triumphant moments, notably the prestigious NASA's Trans Trophy. Beyond blueprints, her unwavering love for her craft, embodied in छाप तिलक. तो आप सभी की जोरदार तालियों के बीच मैं स्वागत करती हूँ ऋतुपर्णा दास का.
सानी बगरे सानी बगरे सानी बगरे निग करे नी रे सा रे ग सा रे ग अपनी छप बनाएंगे अपनी छप बनाएंगे जो मैं पी के पास गई अपनी छप बनाएंगे अपनी छप बनाएंगे जो मैं पी के पास गई जो छप देखी पीऊ की तो अपनी भूल गई छाप तिलक सब चीज नैना मिलाई ओ मियां छाप तिलक सब चीज नैना मिलाई ओ छाप तिलक सब चीज नैना मिलाई तू मिला भी है तू मिला भी है तू मिला भी है तू जुदा भी है तू मिला भी है तू जुदा भी है तेरा क्या कहना तू मिला भी है तू मिला भी है तू मिला भी है तू जुदा भी है तेरा क्या कहना तू सनम भी है तू खुदा भी है तेरा क्या कहना छाप तिलक सब चीज ओ छाप तिलक सब छीन रे नैना मिलाई तू मांगे जो तू मांगे रंग की रंगाई जो तू मांगे रंग की रंगाई मोरा चौबन गिरवी रख ले मोरा चौबन गिरवी रख दे आप तिलक सब चीज मैंने मिलाई बल बल जाऊं मैं तोरे रंग रेचवा तोरे रंग रेचवा बल बल जाऊं मैं बल बल जाऊं मैं बल बल जाऊं मैं तोरे रंग रेचवा तोरे रंग रेचवा तोरे रंग रेचवा तोरे रंग रेचवा अपनी सी रंग दी मैंने मिलाई अपनी सी अपनी सी रंग दी नैना में आई के नैना में कुतुब दिन नैना अल्लाह दिन नैना में आई के सायरा चलाई के नैना में आई के नैना में आई के कहती छाप तिलक सब चीज मिलाई
What a scintillating performance. I now humbly request Shelly ma'am and Shoaib sir, two pillars of our institution, to step forward and present a token of her profound appreciation to Ms. Rituparna Das. Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, Rituparna Ji. We now have a tea break for 15 minutes, for which we will proceed to the pre-function area. See you after 15 minutes.